I make music with the natural environment. In some ways, nature is the most psychedelic. I'm just fascinated with the idea of using information from nature to create musical compositions. We like to think that we know everything about it and that science has sort of, figured it all out. Really, we know almost nothing. He was like, you should capture the bioelectric signature of a cycad ejaculation. So that's also on that list.
Une plante branchée à un synthé, un son planant qui semble émaner d'un autre monde. Bienvenue dans l'univers de la plante musique. Et plus particulièrement, celui du projet Modern Biology, qui cherche à rendre accessible au plus grand nombre le chant des fleurs, des champignons, des fruits, de la nature qui nous entoure. Derrière ce projet à la fois technique et poétique, le Canadien Tarun Nayar. Musicien électro et ancien biologiste, il est l'un des visages de ce mouvement mêlant art, science et conscience écologique.
It's just struck me that, all of us humans innately are looking for this reconnection to nature, and music is such a powerful way.
Alors à quoi ça sert d'écouter les vibrations des plantes ? Je suis allée poser la question à Tarun en Belgique, à l'occasion d'un field trip, une session d'écoute collective et méditative en pleine forêt.
When the music is derived from, nature itself, let's say, biosonification or bioelectric music, there's an added element of connection that's possible for people. And that feeling of connection is the basis for better decisions about our world.
Diplômé de biologie, Tarun a aussi toujours été musicien. Et avant de se passionner pour la musique bioélectrique, la plante musique, il était surtout obsédé par cet objet, le synthétiseur modulaire. Cet instrument emblématique de la musique électronique est composé d'un ensemble de modules indépendants, oscillateurs, filtres et effets, qui, connectés entre eux par des câbles, créent et transforment les fréquences sonores. On peut ainsi sculpter le son, l'amplifier ou le déformer par exemple.
One of the first things that you learn is that you can use anything that's conductive as a resistor in a circuit. And so I started using plants and vegetables and fruits.
C'est comme ça que naît Modern Biology en 2021, un projet musical qui réunit ces deux passions. Muni de synthétiseurs, de câbles et de biocapteurs qui traduisent les micro-variations électriques des plantes en sons, Tarun fait des enregistrements en pleine nature et improvise des paysages sonores, inspiré notamment par Brian Eno, maître de l'ambiante. Il poste ses premières tentatives sur les réseaux sociaux.
And some of those posts went ridiculously viral, which for an older person was very surprising.
Suivi par plus de 900 000 personnes sur TikTok et près de 400 000 sur Instagram, Tarun touche un public d'adeptes très connectés, dont certains étaient pourtant venus se déconnecter pendant cette expérience d'écoute en forêt.
I think these short little videos that people see on the internet are an entry point to thinking more deeply about what it is to be a part of the natural world and what it is to be alive.
Before we get started, before we put on our headphones, before we do anything, there's a little task. Everyone here will take 10 minutes and go find something interesting. It could be a mushroom, it could be a leaf, it could be a pretty flower. We're gonna use that material for our concert.
Sí o no?
Sí.
This one can work?
I think so.
I found moss and this fungi. What about you?
This piece.
Okay, this is good. All right, we're gonna get started.
This thing that's in front of me is just a synthesizer. I'm just taking small bioelectric fluctuations and turning them into music. Everything is moving with electricity. So maybe I'll start off with this empress tree because it's so pretty. Plants don't actually make music. They do make sounds. They make sounds below and above human frequency range of hearing. We're using electrical properties of the plants to make music in ways that humans can understand and relate to. Ultimately, I'm not in charge of the impulse. I have certain subjective decisions that I make. You know, I'm often using delays and reverbs and granular synthesizers and all sorts of interesting things to create these musical narratives. I think of it often as cooking.
Avant de faire de la musique à base de fougères et de champignons, Tarun performait avec des instruments, et notamment des percussions au sein du groupe canadien Delhi to Dublin. Un mélange un peu barjot d'électro, de bengra indien, de funk, de dub et de musique celtique.
I grew up in Montreal, the son of an Indian dad from Punjab and a white mom from New Brunswick. I grew up playing Indian classical music, which is a fairly serious form of musical training in the, South Asian culture. I played tabla, which is the Indian drums. That's my main instrument, and I started when I was 7. But I think I was always fascinated with biology. Indian classical music has this sort of like drone, like multiple things happening at the same time, kind of twinkling around. And I think of these sound worlds that I'm creating when I'm playing as akin to that. And it's also very closely related to nature. There's different ragas for different times of day, for different seasons.
L'idée de la plant music n'est pas nouvelle. Dans les années 70, le best-seller The Secret Life of Plants popularise l'idée d'une sensibilité végétale, en s'appuyant notamment sur les expériences de Cliff Baxter, ex-agent du FBI qui reliait des plantes à des détecteurs de mensonges. S'ensuit un engouement pour la biocommunication, notamment avec l'album Plantasia de Mort Garson, composé pour stimuler la croissance des plantes. Dès 1975, avec son installation Green Music, le Britannique John Lifton connecte 6 plantes à un ordinateur analogique couplé à un synthétiseur, générant alors des sons en temps réel. Mais c'est à partir des années 2010 seulement que la plant music gagne réellement en popularité grâce aux derniers synthétiseurs modulaires, à la prise de conscience environnementale et aux réseaux sociaux.
Just connect to the environment. As we listen to this bioelectric burbling, we'll think about our bodies first as made of earth, and imagining that we have roots extending into the ground beneath us.
Pour certains, la viralité récente de la plant music entraîne des dérives. Par exemple, on vend des kits d'écoute des plantes automatisés comme si les plantes chantaient vraiment. Alors que c'est scientifiquement faux et que ça décrédibilise les musiciens qui travaillent réellement avec des chercheurs. Tarun, de son côté, collabore avec des biologistes, notamment au sujet des champignons, qui jouent un rôle essentiel dans la régénération des écosystèmes. Il leur a dédié son dernier album, Mushroom Church, volume 1. Je l'ai suivi au Spun Lab, un centre de recherche dédié à l'étude et à la cartographie des réseaux fongiques, juste avant l'un de ses concerts à Amsterdam.
What are you testing for right now?
How they build road systems, like how that. So then eventually they start making these beautiful networks.
Dans ce laboratoire, les chercheurs étudient le mycélium, un réseau de filaments souterrains appelé IF par lequel les champignons se connectent aux racines des plantes. Observé au microscope, ce système de communication organique révèle les flux d'énergie entre les champignons et les autres organismes vivants. Avec Tarun, on s'est donc penché sur l'interaction entre un champignon et des racines de carottes.
I'm just seeing if we get conductivity changes that can be turned into music. So trying the same technique as I usually use, but on a hyphae, like a plate filled with hyphae. And then looking at the flow of carbon in the same network at the same time.
Fungi are just so exquisitely sensitive that they can really sense changes in the environment. So even things like changes around them will change the flows inside.
I find it really interesting to have active relationships with scientists who are doing the work that I think really fuels my curiosity. It gives me new things to think about, new information to share with people who come to events. And I think new ways to think about music, like is there better ways, is there more biologically authentic ways of tapping in and composing?
I think when you start understanding what fungi do and how they interact in the world, it opens up a whole nother layer of how you think about the natural world.
L'idée derrière Modern Biology, c'est aussi de faire sortir la science de son laboratoire, de la partager avec le plus grand nombre. C'est pourquoi ces concerts mêlent artistes et scientifiques sur scène. Toby Kears, la biologiste du Spun Lab, et le clarinettiste Isaac Rufus étaient les invités d'honneur de sa Mushroom Church d'Amsterdam.
I'm going to be improvising tonight with mushrooms and Tarun. It's kind of nice to have some unknown factor of exactly how those rhythms and those pitches are going to come. You have an idea of what key it is already, but the idea of like, oh, okay, it's kind of nice and it's cool to be playing music, whether they're conscious of it or not.
I don't want to appropriate the spirituality of the Christian religion, but wherever I go in the world, half my family is Christian, half my family is Hindu. And whether you're in a temple or a gurdwara or a church, there's something about many people praying in a place for centuries that gives a certain gravitas to the feeling. And that's nice as a musician, whether you're playing classical music or whether you're plugging mushrooms into a synthesizer, there's something nice to tap into that feeling.
Welcome to Mushroom Church.
So now the electricity is going through this little mini circuit. It seems to be very happy with itself. And now we'll include the lion's mane.
Fungi are some of the smallest organisms, but they're also some of the largest. They can reach 10 square kilometers. They can live for 2,400 years. All of our understanding of genetics, they break those rules. We have a genome. This is me. I have a genome. There are fungi that have multiple genomes, 2 different genomes just flowing through their networks in this big chaotic dance. Is that still an individual?
We have the electrical systems of the plants and mushrooms. We have the electrical system of the accompanying musician, and then we have everyone in the audience, and everyone is electric, and the climate and the wind and the sun is affecting us all. We're all effectively just antennae, electrical antennae. And so somehow all of this electricity moving together and creating this music is a wonderful expression of what life is and what connection is.
Pourquoi se rassembler autour de la musique des champignons dans une église ou en pleine forêt ? Parce qu'entendre les fréquences de la nature, c'est déjà se replacer en elle. La plante musique rend audible l'invisible, les flux discrets et complexes du vivant. Vous l'avez compris, ce qu'on appelle la plante musique n'est pas vraiment la musique des plantes. Pourtant, quand on écoute ces mélodies créées à partir des vibrations végétales, on y projette l'émotion d'un dialogue entre l'homme et la nature. Pour des artistes qui associent leur travail à la science, c'est aussi une manière de nous rappeler que nous ne sommes qu'une partie d'un écosystème vaste, subtils et profondément intelligents.
Right now, in the world, it's so overwhelming. It seems like there's so much happening. And I think that these momentary reconnections to nature that can really help, regulate the nervous system, bring us back into our sense of being and our sense of self, and help us make better decisions that will ideally preserve the natural world in the future.